And that is a tie technically for, I guess it's second place, but I mean, Entity has one less loss right now, but haven't been playing, so we can't catch up on that. Either way, very big implications for staying in upper bracket because those top 4 are very important to go, you know, get that extra life to work with. You get the +1 mushroom or whatever it is in Super Mario.
From 0, that's an infinity% increase in your lives.
That's right.
Yep. That'd be +1 actually.
So back to the draft, ignoring everything you say. We got Razor, Snapfire, Ember, Wyvern bans. I don't even remember what we had in game number 1, but I feel like Ember was not on there. Maybe for the second phase.
These are the same bans minus the Snapfire, which lets the Viper through.
Okay.
So Boom gets the Viper. Marcy is still in the pool. So Team Spirit, they're thinking, do we go Tiny plus Marcy? Otherwise, Boom is probably going to get Tiny Marcy.
Radiant team.
Or Viper Marcy.
Tiny Dazzle, Viper, Marcy.
That would be, I believe, the play. Unless Boom is, there's some next level situation going on here. Dazzle has looked pretty good against Marcy. I will say that. It's looked good.
Dawnbreak, the other little lady. Okay.
Into Tiny. Tiny is considered one of the better heroes versus Dawnbreaker because you do have the AoE stun to throw on the ground when she ults in, but more importantly, you have 2 ways to interrupt her Starbreaker very easily.
10 seconds.
However,
remaining.
it's not like Wyvern. It's not like a complete hard counter by any means.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay. I mean, do we think that these are actually 2 cores, or is Dawnbreaker going to be that support this time?
Turn to ban.
I mean, Jackie had a pretty damn good game.
Yeah, it's flex. Like it just depends on how the rest of the draft goes. They probably don't even know either. They're just like, oh, we can do it for either and see some future picks.
Okay, so Juggernaut taken out, and it's so weird to see a Juggernaut ban, actually. This hero was ignored for so many months prior to the DPC.
Yeah.
Even within the DPC, it felt like one of those carries you pick up after everything else is banned. But now, getting a little love.
This like Midas Maelstrom playing around the spin build seems to have brought the hero back. It's like, you get the Midas, so you know you're going to have a lot of net worth late game, and you go for the spin build, so you're doing like magical damage. It's not really dependent on these like early items. It makes sense that it's coming back. Other bans that we see in this phase, like usually Batrider, Puck actually making it through, which is a little bit atypical in this tournament, in this meta. But it feels like there's so many heroes you have to first phase ban now that this is kind of happening, the Puck getting through. Or at least like one OP hero getting through, like Zeus as well is ignored just because there's like new meta heroes that people are going for. Like Dazzle, for example, went from second phase and now we're seeing it get first phased.
Yep. So what other OP heroes are there then?
Zeus, like I said, TA was banned in the second phase.
That's not on the same level. Let's be real.
No, it's not on the same level as Zeus.
Puck, Zeus. We see the Tiny Wyvern already. Wyvern, Viper, Razor.
Marcy, still in the pool.
True.
For either side. It's probably pretty good with Dazzle if you're gonna run the Tiny as a core. It does like make it obvious what position that hero is going to be in.
Taking out the Mars, so that could have been a Toronto, Tokyo, or Collapse, of course. So just getting rid of that flex option for Team Spirit.
And Boom banned out the Monkey King in the last game, but I don't see them doing that when they have a Viper now, because I feel like Viper just like dumpsters a Monkey King. You could just find whatever lane the monkey is in and throw the Viper against it.
Yep.
So they're gonna have a free ban here. Let's see.
Any chance we're gonna see another Faceless Void? Actually, did not look too bad. But it was a slow ramp up, and they were down by 15K as a result of the slow ramp up.
Both teams like it, so we could see it again.
The TA that you mentioned, that was banned last draft as well. So one more ban apiece before we get to the second phase here.
TA can feel like one of
10
the
seconds
strongest
remaining.
like second phase carries in the game. I don't. I mean, there's like the occasional
5
team that like first
seconds
phases
remaining.
it. It's a little crazy to do that, but second phase you just see a whole draft where there's nothing really good at like peeling off refraction, and
Wow.
they ban Lifestealer.
What? Did they not watch the game prior to this?
There's some scrim shenanigans going on here, dude. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Or maybe they're just looking at the drafts and they're like, oh, that would actually be pretty good against our heroes. Because it's one of those things people pick against Viper and lanes.
10
You take off the
seconds remaining.
poison stacks. Never goes well, actually, for the Lifestealer. The Lifestealer always loses
5
that
Sounds
lane
like a
anyway.
seconds.
terrible
remaining.
matchup. Viper Strike goes through Rage as well, but you can obviously just infest somebody. But using infest like that, I mean, I don't know. I want Lifestealer to be good, believe you me, but it has not, and it's not just that one game. It has felt very underwhelming.
It's a
in
tier 5
general.
body. That's why.
Yeah, just
Tier-
need some stat gains.
Before it's probably, yeah,
Imagine Lifestealer in Dawnbreaker's body.
that'd be good.
That would be good.
That'd probably be good. Yeah. Or Dazzles.
Yeah, the
Turn
ranged
team
Ghoul
pick.
Frenzy. Good stuff. All right, Pangolier. First time we get to see that today.
They banned the Bloodseeker.
Yep, absolutely needed. So some things that Pangos don't like to see. There's a few heroes that, can disrupt the ult. There's Wyvern, which that's a hero we didn't mention. Okay, that's banned.
It's
That's
banned.
10
why.
seconds
Grip
remaining.
from Bane. What else is there? Obviously the Bloodseeker you
5
mentioned.
seconds remaining.
Boom can still get Marcy Viper if they want. I guess the Dazzle dissuades it a little bit. I'm interested to hear from, like, I wish we could interview some of these teams right now and ask them, like,
Radiant team
is Dazzle
spirits
really that good
turn-
against Marcy that you're not willing to pick it?
Get to see an Invoker, and
Oh, they
there's
do
the
go for it.
Marcy.
Second phase Marcy. And Invoker, pretty good against Pango. Well, yeah, I mean, you can like cold snap him and maybe get the, like, you can cold snap him to stop the roll, but it is really hard to mana
10
drain a Pango if you go for
seconds
Quas
remaining.
X, because all of his abilities have you don't
5
have to
seconds
turn in order to
remaining.
press his abilities, and they have like 0
Yeah.
cast points. So
You'll eventually get shard anyway, right?
And you're gonna
So
get shard,
The
too.
roll up will just dispel the cold snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like a pretty good Pango game.
it does so far, yeah. And I don't think Marcy's like particularly sick at ganking in mid either. It's better than like Marcy versus Puck for sure, but Pango can swashbuckle
Radiant
away if they
team
catch him
back.
after a swash.
My
Oh, this is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a good game.
Enigma 4th picked. And we're assuming that's a 3. Is this a mid Pango?
I think so. I mean, it could be
10 seconds remaining.
collapse Pango, which would mean it would be like a Mira Enigma.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, there's some flex for
something
sure.
like that. But yeah, no, Toronto Tokyo has been playing it a lot lately, and I feel like Enigma's best role is 3 position, and they late picked it, which means there's no good counter to the black hole right now.
Mhm.
I imagine even though, it's Marcy with Viper.
Team spirits turn
There,
to
I'm
ban.
thinking there's a Rubik ban that's going to come here from Spirit, unless they think that like a Rubik would ruin the draft for some reason, that this like Dawn can't go core. But I think Dawn core would be perfectly fine here.
You think a last pick Rubik, huh?
Yeah, you got to ban it, right? You have Enigma. It just seems
10
you
seconds
can't let that
remaining.
through. Maybe even a Warlock ban too.
Would a Clockwork be good
5
for Boom?
seconds remaining.
If you're going to go for support anyway.
The reason I think
Radiant
Clock is pretty
team ban.
decent is because you can also disrupt the Pango roll with the Cogs, which is really nice.
True.
But I feel like Clock is one of the harder Enigma counters to play because you have to actually get the angle on the hook shot. Whereas Warlock, you just like drop the rock and
10 seconds remaining.
it's just so easy. It's
True.
global range. I mean, there's obviously the silencer
5
that's really
seconds
good against it.
remaining.
But
So Boom trying to take away all these
Team
position ones
spirits
for
turn to ban.
Yatoro. So no void.
you gotta ban
PL.
Warlock. You gotta ban Warlock. Like Skem plays it too. It just seems obvious.
So what do we think Yatoro is going to go for in this game? Position 1. They have.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like they have a good mix of physical and magic right now for
5
Boom.
seconds remaining.
Viper
Probably most of
Marcy
it
in
is
lane.
magic.
Sniper actually seems pretty dope for him.
Radiant team
Yeah, you got a
pick.
bunch of frontliners. Oh, there's the Bane counter. So Grip obviously would work against the Black Hole with a BKB or Pango roll. Yeah, Warlock ult sounds decent. Pretty long cooldown though.
Could also
10
be
seconds
Scam just
remaining.
casually playing the Viper and they could pick a
5 seconds remaining.
offlaner or carry here. That's also potential. He has played the Viper.
Yeah, they have plenty of time for this last pick, but Team Spirit can always respond here. But from Team Spirit, any carries come to mind that look good this game? I thought Void would have looked good, but that's obviously been banned. The double bubble, an old school strat.
Like I said, I do really like Sniper.
Other than Sniper.
feel like there's
Get
not-
Sniper. I know you love Sniper. What about Pudge, huh? Why don't you say Pudge? That's your 2 combos anyway. Sniper. Pudge.
Garbage. Complete garbage. You would feed a Viper Marcy. Pudge is... That's like my least favorite support to play against as Pudge is Marcy. It's so hard. You get thrown into somewhere, you're so fat and slow, and you just die after your flesh heap.
Range carry.
Ranged carry, yeah, or like you could try to PL against it, but
Been banned.
okay, yeah, that's. I mean, you can dispel like the Viper stuff, and it's hard for Marcy to catch a PL. But I do actually think like that's another one of those baits where the Viper would do very well against it in lane.
Okay.
Let's see, so Boom, yeah, they're thinking a lot about this
Team
pick.
Spirit's
Once again, they can
turn
flex,
to pick.
and they go for
Chen.
Chen. Last pick Chen. So it is a Dawnbreaker core then. Viper, Invoker, Dawnbreaker are the cores. Presumably. I mean, it could still be Marcy core, which is a lot less common.
You know, I know we're not going to see this. I just
10
want to mention it.
seconds
I miss
remaining.
position 1 Venge and like these push strats. That would be super cool. It's going to be the TB. I was going to mention this, but I didn't think it would be good against the Viper. It's a lot of magic damage, and they have the catch with Marcy. Might have a rough laning stage, but we'll see.
You know, Terrorblade actually has one of the highest win rates in the game on Dota buff against Viper. It's just
Really?
one. It's just one of those things where on Dota buff, obviously that's aggregated over all pubs, and so most pubs will
Look at that mount, by the way.
go to the late game. Oh my, the
That's
Rat
a
King.
rat.
The Rat King. It's the king of rats.
You
though.
like the crocodile or the rat more?
I think I like the rat more. I like the goofy stuff. Crocodile looks cool. That looks hilarious.
What about the gorilla?
Harambe is number 1.
Still number 1. Okay.
But TB against Viper, you just have all this damage over time on Viper, and it is. TB
Why is
just
nobody? I'm
turns
sorry.
its
I'm
unders.
not. Why have they not made a hippo?
10
Think
seconds
about it.
remaining.
I see back to the Chen mounts.
Hippo. That's such an unusual animal.
Yeah.
5 seconds
that's right.
remaining.
It's actually the deadliest animal in the world.
Mosquitoes.
Deadlier than that.
No.
They're carnivorous.
So are mosquitoes.
Nothing can beat in a 1v1 battle can beat a hippo.
In a 1v1.
Yeah. I think a mosquito would die to a hippo.
I think you're right. Yeah. If it's a 1v1 battle of who can flee.
Hippos are actually faster than you think.
Oh, yeah?
Can you think of another animal that would beat a hippo in a 1v1?
In a 1v1.
Yeah.
I think jaguars are S tier.
You're kidding me. Hippos they could literally kill them with their shit. Have you seen?
Like with their anus.
Yeah, when they shit, they like swirl it with their tails, and it gets all over the place. It's damaging. It's like a ranged attack.
Really?
projectile. Yeah.
They have projectiles.
Yeah, it actually
Like
is.
a catapult.
But I'm telling you, hippos are dangerous, man. They're cuddly, but dangerous. Sorry, what were you saying before that?
I don't remember. Who cares?
This is what you get with the B stream here. Tomorrow we will be on the A stream, so we can't do this anymore.
We'll get in trouble.
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
That's all right.
Wish we could live on the B stream forever.
I just want to live here.
Oh, that's a nice set. I've never seen that headpiece before. Very interesting. Oh, all right. Production's telling us the A stream has ended, so they're coming to the B stream soon.
Professional time,
So this
yeah.
will be an A stream technically soon.
Professional.
Prepare for battle.
That's unfortunate.
All right. So we got a smoke on both sides. The Hippoless Chen writing the rat instead, the Rat King. What is that in reference to?
Do you know what a Rat King actually is?
I think you explained this once, and I don't remember what
Yeah,
you said.
Day
I wasn't
9 told
listening.
me this the other day, actually.
Okay.
Day 9, and it's when a rat's tails in the sewers get stuck together, because of all the feces in the sewer. They get stuck together permanently. They mold together, and
Their tails mold
yeah,
together.
and their group of rats is called a rat king, and they'll even eat each other. They'll even eat each other, and
just to get the tails off?
yeah, and just because they're hungry and they feel like it. Rats are horrific creatures.
Yep.
Oh, that would have been really cool.
Good attempt.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah,
Good attempt.
that was like a cool.
Was that in the fog? Is that what you're trying to do?
He was trying to do it from the fog. Yeah, he was trying to do it from the fog.
Is that possible?
It is. Yeah, it works on fog. You can like toss a Monkey King off of trees without seeing
Well,
him.
yeah, Monkey King makes sense because they're right on top of you, but,
But
the
you can't see him.
ranges-
The range is huge. The gather range on it is actually quite large.
Okay, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of implications here. This is kind of like,
Battle begins.
if you want to think about it as like a mini tiebreaker between these two teams because they have the exact same score line now in terms of wins, losses. And trying to survive in that top 4. That's what everybody wants, obviously, to avoid the bottom of the bracket to get eliminated. But also, if you're doing well, which both of these teams are, to get the top 4 to be able to get to the upper bracket for the playoffs.
Extra life. You get that mushroom.
The mushroom, I would say, is delicious, but it's the most disgusting thing on earth, so I'm not going to go with that. I'd be disappointed in myself. All right, talk to me about Yopaj's Invoker. You talked about how Cold Snap, I mean, I agree, it is quite good against Pango until he gets the Shard, which, historically speaking, people have been kind of prioritizing relatively early.
Yep.
Literally the 15-minute mark. He's probably going to go Diffusal, I would assume, as well. But yeah, Invoker, how does this hero feel these days? Because we don't get to see it all too often.
Well, he's going Quas Wex this game, which I think makes sense. Like if you
Does anybody go Exort?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah, sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, with Banes and Voids, like different kinds of setup. Yeah, Quas Exort's actually kind of, it's pretty common. There's even like a Drums Treads build. People are running around fighting Quas Exort. But yeah, no, I think Wex makes a lot of sense. You're playing into TB, you're playing into Enigma, even a Pango with Diffusal. These are extremely strong late game heroes. Your carry is Dawn, your offlane is Viper, and he's fine, it looks like. Yeah, but you don't want to go late game against this. Boom wants to take an early lead, and that's what they're playing for.
Yep. And in terms of the build, I assume Spirit Vessel Midas is still very normal for
Yeah,
the Quaswex
Yeah, I think so.
variation.
Yeah, so you can flex to.
Miposhka, he's going to get first blooded by Tim's on the Marcy. You're seeing the prowess of the Viper Marcy lane. Obviously, Yatoro, he is a ranged hero for a certain amount of time, but to help his teammates there is the Rat King Skem. Actually, Rat King sounds like an insult based on the story that you...
It's quite disgusting. Yeah,
at least it's disgusting.
It is. Yeah.
So Rat King is the group. It's not like one individual.
No, it's the group. It's the group.
King insinuates it's one individual. Miposhka gets off a nice shadow wave. Right clicks from Yatoro, but again, he's still in melee form. Miposhka's definitely dead, but the trade will come for FBZ. And Yatoro trying to get Hightail back to get this easy farm. Those juicy range creeps available for him.
Oh yeah, 100 gold.
That's
right
nice.
there. I think this lane for Spirit, they're very happy with how it's going. If they're trading, they're 5 position for a Terrorblade free farming versus a Viper. That's the dream, because that's like the one point where Viper actually dumps on a TB. For the rest of the game, TB versus Viper is so miserable for the Viper.
Got a Mango Pop, another toss, but missed target here. That would have been a lot of damage with those Eidolons already
I wonder
duplicating.
I wonder if he was actually trying to toss that creep, because it's such a good creep.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it was the lightning creep, right?
The zapper.
Yeah. I feel like that was intentional.
Okay. But he still has the Troll High Priest, or whatever the hell it's called, with the very, very interesting break mechanic against Enigma.
He can
And
break.
Tiny. He can break Grow, but not level 6 yet.
If only you could break Grow and he just
That
turns
would
small.
be so good against Tiny. Miposhka getting right-clicked by FBZ. Tim's is going to find his distance as Miposhka is just dead. So Viper just having himself a game already. I mean, CS-wise, 11-5, so maybe not the best, but he is, at the very least, getting these kills.
Yeah, his net worth is good on Viper. But once again, if you're Spirit, I think this is I almost feel like against Marcy Viper, this is just the strongest lane in all of Dota right now. If you're playing against Marcy Viper, somebody's got to die, and you'd rather it not be your carry. I don't see how else you deal with it other than like tri-laning it.
Right. There's just literally nothing they can do. And they're just resigned to this, but the rebound dispose. And I'm not sure if Miposhka has his grave. I doubt it this early, so he's just going to drop to the damage over time from FBZ. Trying to turn this around again onto Miposhka. Tim's getting quite low, though. Has to pop that Fairy Fire, but FBZ is going to get a couple right clicks as a result. In the trees, Miposhka goes. Gets off that Shadow Wave, trying to get some vision. And the rebound is there. Double kill for FBZ, and this lane is already out of control in favor of Boom.
Yeah, this is where TB goes in jungles. Unfortunately, there's not really a good support to take the top lane. All right, at least he thinks about jungling because, good lord, if he keeps coming back up here, the lane's not even in a good position. He's got to pull it back. Looks like he's going to jungle. He's getting followed though. That's annoying.
Yeah, we got an Urn now online for FBZ, so that, I mean, does that mean Invoker's not going for one? Question mark?
Let's see.
He also has one.
also has one.
Okay.
All right.
Is that a miscommunication, or is that...
That is.
Okay.
Because if you want mana regen on Viper, I think you just go Bassi.
Yeah, I think it's more important for the Spirit Vessel to be on the Invoker for sure. That's
Probably
like
true.
one of the most cookie cutter builds in the game.
Viper very rarely upgrades it, so.
Well, good news is he can sell it for 50% if he'd like at some point this game. But maybe he just used it for mana regen. The problem is, like, if you're in the same area as the Invoker, you're not really gonna be able to choose who gets the charges, and you want it on Invoker.
They can just stay away from each other.
Yep, that is the plan.
Avoid each other like they're the bubonic plague.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of rats. Yopaj is gonna get rolled on here by Toronto Tokyo. TP's coming though. Really? He's not gonna stick around. So forcing the TP. Very low cooldown on the Rolling Thunder, so actually a pretty nice play from Spirit, as Viper had to come in.
Dire's bottom tower.
I think without Viper, that's likely a kill.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Maybe. I don't know if
it is under the tier 1, so it's a bit risky.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any detection there. I mean, I guess he can like chain the bounce, maybe get lucky on the calculations. But you know, FBZ rotates to mid. He can just head straight back up the top. And in Boom, they've rotated their Marcy out of top lane. TB is jungle. Dazzle's taking the lane, so they don't need to keep two heroes up here.
Yeah, the fact that Yatoro has any kind of farm right now is pretty damn impressive. There's the toss back into the Eidolons. Jackie in a lot of trouble. Avalanche keeps him in place. And the right clicks are just enough. And actually Collapse gets the credit for that one.
Oh, now they're looking. Okay. This TB jungle.
Yep, but they're going to find Miposhka instead. Cold Snap is there. Disposed back into the fray. And the EMP Miposhka is just going to die to the tornado.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think they were trying to connect on the Dazzle to get Urn charges. Of course, there's already one on Viper. Urn charge. But,
Collapse?
This is weird.
Yeah,
this is
odd.
quite
Do they
odd.
know he's here? Oh, it looks like Team Spirit are the ones on the pursuit. Jackie boy, he's in a lot of trouble. Toronto Tokyo able to connect once, and there's the black hole! And that is going to lead to 2 kills for Team Spirit. Very nicely done. Actually, the roll continues, so Skem might be in a bit of trouble. The toss will be enough with that last right click from Toronto Tokyo, and Team Spirit coming back with a vengeance after that top lane looked kind of bad at first, but this bottom lane looking real good.
Yeah, that's a 3-fer down there. They got Urn charges too. Oh yeah, I mean that's exactly why. TB is so good against Viper going late game. Like any point other than the laning stage, you just do so much physical damage, and there's no way for Viper to kill the illusions. It's just unreasonable, and you can Sunder as well if Viper does turn and get a lot of damage on you. It is such a strong counter.
So they get the kill on the Viper, and now the tier 1 tower bot. So Team Spirit looking pretty damn good. Dazzle, Miposhka, been dying a decent amount, but if that's all they can find, then I might not even find it. Toronto Tokyo is here, but the tornado just in time from Yopaj.
Yopaj also stays in range to get the Urn charge. He's stuck around there, so he's still got 2 charges on that. Man, it's crazy how popular Tiny has been for
almost 2 years now.
It's been a long time.
I mean, he's played every position, too. That's the cool thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not so much off lane, but all the others we've definitely seen.
I like that he's rotating positions. I think
it's cool.
I think that's kind of cool. Is that it would be one of those upsetting heroes to be in the meta for too long if it was always carry.
Yeah.
I think the tiny carry iteration was the most toxic version of it.
Most toxic, you
Yeah.
say?
Like it felt the worst to play against. Just some guy running around 15 minutes, 2,500 HP. You can't kill him.
Oh, you mean once they added the shard?
With the shard, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I personally, I know a lot of people will not agree with me. I miss the days where Aghanims gave you that tree. I actually like that variation of Tiny quite a bit.
Radiant are scanning.
The old IO Tiny just backdooring buildings and whatnot.
Oh,
clean
that
stuff.
one. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very unclean, actually. That was not good, clean Dota. That was disgusting.
I don't know. I just remember OG making their first run at the Frankfurt Major with a no-tail carry Tiny. That was really cool.
Yeah, they realized you can just kill the enemy thrown through backdoor with this hero.
That's right. Of course, Alchemist was very big back in that day as well.
Yep.
And Tim's running away from this little pathetic illusion here.
Nothing really to be afraid of. Run into his Viper.
But,
for
I
some
mean,
assistance.
now that we're exiting the landing stage, you can see Team Spirit with a decent gold lead. Obviously, some of that comes with the buildings, but it does feel like they're in kind of control of this game. I mean, talk about the Marcy Viper combo in that top lane, but you can see the network for the TB doing quite well. That's a hero I feel like you need to kind of stunt the beginning of his game so he can't kind of snowball out of control.
Yeah, you definitely do, especially because like I look at Boom's lineup and I just don't see a hero that can like outmatch a Terrorblade in late game. What's Invoker gonna do? What's a Dawnbreaker carry gonna do? You're dealing with the hero who has like the highest armor in the game on TB. How are you gonna kill him? And with the Enigma too, he's got a full vessel now. Like the early game's going really well for him.
We got the roll in Toronto Toki, but the cold snap Brave is going to save him for the time being. Can he get off his ult? But the Starbreaker continues to stun. Nice turnaround here from Boom. The Pushka is next. Does require all 5 of Boom to get here, but still a pretty big kill.
They get the mid tower, which is important, but definitely a blunder to lose your mid laner like that.
One thing they can do late game against the TB is once Invoker gets a ton of farm, you're going to see the initiation onto Collapse. He does have Black Hole. Gets sundered from afar. Yatoro being a good, clean position 1 teammate here. And Mira looks to be fine and no casualties. But once you get that Cataclysm, the problem is they don't really have setup for it, right? Even the Dawnbreaker ult, they don't have any setup for these big AoEs to come. Rolling Thunder gets FBZ. See, Team Spirit almost don't want to even commit to this. They're still staying on the other side of the river, so Toronto Toku just having fun.
Yeah, their TB doesn't have meta. He just used Sunder. I mean, that's exactly why he used the Sunder, is because his meta was wearing off. So Spirit, they're not really looking to fight right now. It's not really at the point where Enigma does that much damage either. His Midnight Pulse. They need Tiny Blink as well.
I mean, how does late game Dawnbreaker really match up against TB? Doesn't feel like it's a good hero against
I don't think
TB.
well against TB because Dawnbreaker plays long fights and gets multiple Starbreakers off, right? Heals herself, heals her team with the ult, and TB obviously he's the king of that, right? He has Sunder. In late game, he also has low cooldown on Sunder if you go for the talent. If you're talking like hyper late game, so I think Dawn with an advantage with like a Deso can look probably good against TB, but
Dire's top
not
tower
if they're
is
even.
under
And I don't
attack.
think they should be even either. TB can totally outfarm a Dawnbreaker because of his illusions. He can outfarm most heroes.
So Team Spirit feel pretty good just to farm away. Collapse, working on the Blink Dagger, has a Spirit Vessel already. And yeah, he's top net worth in the entire game right now. Hasn't really had to do too much. It just felt like that bottom lane, they got a couple kills and they just kind of left him there. And he's been free farming ever since.
It's 4-0-0.
Yeah.
He's huge. With Dagger coming next for him, there's...
I mean, Enigma is one of the scariest heroes in the game to get off to a good start because we talk about how good he is late game. If you can get those items earlier, then it's just going to add insult to injury. Here's the smoke from Boom. into the triangle. They're not going to find anybody initially, but they will potentially see Toronto in mid.
They have triple Centaur stun.
Yep, they sure do. Toronto, there's the dispose into the triple Centaur stun. Nicely done. Tornado is not quite enough, so last right click from Tims. Yeah, very fortunate creeps. And he's got the rally to help take the tower. Very nice.
This is a scary Chen army, to be honest.
That's what we call the Rat King.
Yeah.
There.
That's quite disturbing. That's
Tier 1 tower for Boom.
With Marcy, this is even scarier, actually. It's funny because, like, I think Toronto Tokyo expected the tornado to finish him off there because he didn't even try to use the spells afterwards. He's like, I'm dead. But maybe he could have swashbuckled away, which would have been really funny. What happened with the urn situation, by the way? Did FPC still have
Taro getting initiated on Cold Snap's going to keep him in place. Dawnbreaker ult as well. He is gray from Miposhka, but this is a lot of damage to go through. Tornado's going to clip 2, and that's enough to take out the TB. Toronto Tokyo dies on the other side as well. So Boom executing very nicely, despite not having the better late game, trying to take advantage of what they have now. Miposhka, rebound, but the Avalanche puts him in place. No dispose to come this time from Tims. So Collapse gets a little bit of revenge here. And that kill actually gives him the Blink Dagger. So we see FBZ still has his urn. Doesn't look like he's gone for Spirit Vessel. And Jackie... Wait, was that Jackie we're looking at? Or not Jackie,
Yopaj also is not going for Spirit Vessel.
Okay, so they both have lost hope on the... the Spirit Vessel purchase. I mean, this game is not even that good.
They've both had decent amounts of charges in the Spirit Vessel. I feel like they're not always together. There's sometimes where, like, the Viper's being played to or the Invoker's being played to. No, obviously this was not intentional. This was clearly a mistake, but it is funny that sometimes you can get away with something like this because the heroes just don't play around each other that much.
But how important would the Spirit Vessel even be this game, considering there's not really any big regen? I mean, it's Shadow Wave. No. That's about it.
It's like
the Spirit Vessel for Team Spirit makes a lot more sense against the Dawnbreaker, against the Chen and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's really just a proc Cold Snap for the most part.
Yeah.
For Invoker. And then early mana regen for Viper.
He's not going. He's going Witchblade, looks like. Tornado. Try to save Tims here. And Toronto Tokyo gets Cold Snap, but the swashbuckle from afar. Still working on that Diffusal Blade for Toronto Tokyo. Nice little combo.
Is it Witchblade for Yopaj, or is it... That was Orchid. He's got full Orchid.
Oh, he's going Orchid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's...
Oh, that's pretty quick.
It'll kill the TB until he's got Manta, actually.
So you're going to see all the creeps get destroyed here from Team Spirit, and that... Nothing to scoff. That was 3 Centaurs.
That's depressing.
Those are nice.
That's very depressing for a Chen. It takes a long time to get 3 of the same creep.
Yep.
Wait for a whole jungle respawn multiple times.
Basically, a pretty even game. But obviously, we do favor Team Spirit the later this game does go. So if they can keep it even, I think they'll actually be happy with that. As now a Manta on Yotaro. Bounty denied by the Alpha Wolf.
Tower is under attack.
Collapse is really excited to use his fresh, juicy blink on somebody. Ideally on a core.
Oh, Jackie. Oh, we have the Vault use on the Horsey. Back into Collapse with the toss. And they don't even bother using that black hole at all because they have all the control they need. You can see the hand of Gaben not even doing that much because of the Spirit Vessel. Felt like it gave him about 50 HP. Either way, big kill for Team Spirit. Still have the black hole. Not sure if they've seen the blink, but I would assume, I mean, he's had it for a while, so probably.
He does, the BKB will be
nice. The neutral on him. And the extra lifesteal there. That's good stuff.
Good. Yeah, extra 7 int. That's great. That's always depressing when there's like just nothing. Like all of your other heroes have like the perfect neutral item for them. You don't want to take it from them. You're just like, okay, I guess I'll take this.
It's better than back in the day when there wasn't even a 5th neutral item, right?
Yeah. That's true. I'll take any garbage.
Yotaro going for the pretty standard build. Manta into Dragonlance and Scotty. I mean, think the question is, will he go for an earlier BKB, depending on how this game goes, but right now it doesn't feel like he needs it. Obviously, the Orchid could change his mind from Yopaj. In fact, what is Toronto Tokyo trying to disable that? Because even if he gets Shard, he can't use it for Silenced. Maybe a Lotus Orb?
Maybe BKB. I've seen a lot of Pangos do that.
Okay. God, that feels terrible.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It looks good in the games where they get it, though. Like, you just run in, you just right-click the hell out of people with your Diffusal Blade. Like, I feel like it's better when you have Diffusal and you're going for this, like, Basher kind of late-game Pango build. But he is going for the Shard and BKB afterwards.
Well said, Jenkins.
Playing it safe. As they go for a smoke, they're trying to connect something with the collapse Black Hole, but Boom is really respecting it, not getting caught out. Other than like the initial pickoff, they're not grouping up for any holes here.
Yep, a lot of holes to go around. I mean, have we seen one yet?
We saw one, yeah, bottom lane.
Bottom lane early on, like right when he hit 6.
Yeah.
Radiant's
Okay.
courier has been
Well, Boom
killed.
in the pit.
Radiant's bottom
Not sure if they
tower
actually
is
want to
under
go for it.
attack.
Obviously, these Eidolons kind of being a little bit annoying, but it looks like they will be in the
I
pit
think
now.
Jackie Boys was seen on a ward, if I'm not mistaken. Is this mid ward catch him?
This is a freebie.
It barely didn't. Yeah, they don't know this is happening actually. Because the smoke, the Eidolons scouted out and saw nothing in there.
Yeah. So that was actually a very fortuitous smoke.
It's funny because if the Eidolons weren't there to scout, then they wouldn't have this false sense of security
Yeah,
that Roche
now
isn't being
they're
taken.
scouting it. Now they know, but
Too late.
Too late. But might be able to get the tier 2 tower. There's the TP coming in from FBZ, showing himself Mira. No Blink Dagger yet. That wave will almost get it for him. Team Spirit not even able to get any sort of a trade, as Jackie now has the Aegis in tow.
Oh, here we go.
Rolling Thunder, Toronto Tokyo looking for FBZ. He knows he's in the area, not going to connect initially, but there's the Avatos. Dawnbreaker L coming in. Pretty good job in healing FBZ. He's going to be fine for the time being. And Toronto Tokyo
Dire's courier has been
not able to really connect on anybody afterwards. Yotaro will live. BKB was expended though onto Jackie, and the tier 2 goes for Team Spirit. So FBZ, the only casualty in this, could have been a lot worse. But the outpost now opened up as a result of the tier 2.
Yeah, they really wanted to get that trade of, or not the trade, they wanted to not have the trade of Roshan for the bottom tier 2 tower there, which is a very typical trade that we see happen. They wanted to hold the tower, but unfortunately FBZ on Viper does not have his BKB yet, so he's kind of impossible to save there. There's a DD bot. Who picked that up? Okay, Toronto Tokyo has a DD. Probably would have been better on Yotaro, but he already TP'd towards top to push that side of the map out.
Pretty useless with Swashbuckle. Not great.
Yep. He will have a BKB though. Well, not in time to use that, but I do think with this build he can get a few right clicks off. That's more of like a pick off thing rather than I'm gonna actually use this in a team fight to do something.
Yeah.
But a support can't go and sit in the lane against him. You just kill them with the DD.
3K lead for Team Spirit. Got a little army here. This time it's a little bit better diversity, not 4 Centaurs.
It's because all the Centaurs died last time. He's like, I'm not waiting for the jungle to respawn again. I'm just going to take everything.
Tomato with chicken and a pine cone. I'm not sure what the pine cone tastes like exactly, but it doesn't sound too appetizing.
Probably nut.
Can't be any worse than a tomato.
Except that seed shot, so.
Jackie, take out the tier 2. They're just fortified.
Radiant's
Team Spirit
has been
don't look to be coming anytime soon.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
That's a
is
freebie
under attack.
for Boom.
Dire's
Still
top
at 2.5
tower
minutes with
has
the
fallen.
Aegis. We'll see how much else they can get out of it. Still, both buildings on the bottom lane are intact. So, not sure if they're going to go in that lane, but the tier 2 mid could be the
Radiant's courier
focus.
has been killed.
As Mage Slayer already online for Jackie. And we'll be building the Desolator next. So prioritizing the relatively early BKB again.
And I think Viper, I think FBZ did disassemble, so he does not have a Dragon Lance for 800 gold, which I think he's going to go back for. Just too good on Viper. But he's got the BKB. So it doesn't feel as worthless anymore. There's a point on Viper where it feels like a 2 to 5 minute window, depending on how strong you are, where it feels like you just don't have the strength that you had from the laning stage onward. because you don't have the BKB. You just die, even though you're a tanky boy.
Yeah, so Boom looking to take a fight with while this Aegis still has some time left. And, well, we're going to have the dispose instantly onto the Tony. And he is mega dead. So nice pick off, but again, it's just a support.
Making their way into the triangle. Presumably get some wards down. We've got one on
Dire's
Tim's.
bottom tower is under
Oh.
attack.
BKB,
Oh, that's a big item. That's a big boy item. They've got nothing.
nothing.
Nothing to deal with this.
Eventually,
black hole.
they'll need a basher, or I mean, even
Dire
that's
are
not great.
scanning.
No, I mean,
Like, you have to be super
Dire's
close to get that
bottom tower
Starbreaker
has
off,
fallen.
which...
It's-
what can you itemize?
Abyssal Blade, Ether Lens.
Dire's bottom tower
Abyssal
is
Blade,
under attack.
Aether Lens.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be for a Marcy, theoretically.
Yeah, that's right. Wind Waker. Wind Waker is a way to
Radiant's
deal with it as
top
well.
tower is under attack.
You just save the guy. Pretty good setup here.
Yep, we got the Orchid Cold Snap combo with the Dawnbreaker ult. That is a dead Poshka.
Your
Tara's
Tor's out.
just gonna
Nope,
fake TP.
he's back.
He's got his Scotty, enough for that at least. So that could be go time for him. Although, I mean, I'd be shocked if BKB's not the next item. on this
Radiant's
list.
middle tower
You think
is
that's a
under
little
attack.
greedy that he didn't go for that?
I don't know. Maybe he feels like there's not enough disable. It looks
Going Hurricane
Yeah,
Pike.
Hurricane Pike.
All right, he's gonna change this shit.
Maybe Silver Edge after the Pike.
Okay. Let's see. Quite greedy. Of course, this is the same guy that built Midas on Lifestealer. His Avalanche toss back into Yatoro as a dead Tims. And they stop. Or they should be able to get this
Dire's
outpost back.
middle tower is under attack.
Things have kind of gotten to a standstill. We see supports die every now and then, but no real team fight. Obviously, if you're Boom, just trying to avoid this black hole at all costs.
Yeah, he has not had to use it for a long time.
Yep. Smoke is going to break. Skem, he's going to be the casualty. The sacrifice, if you will. And now without having to worry about that Aegis, I think Team Spirit quite
Radiant's
confident.
middle tower is
Meta
under
pop by
attack.
Yatoro.
Radiant structures are fortified.
See if they continue on despite this fortification slowing them down slightly.
Problem with killing a Chen is, like, yes, he's an important hero to take out of a fight 'cause the heals are important, but
Radiant's middle
such a
tower is
low
under
cooldown
attack.
on his death.
Yeah. Plus, if all his creeps are alive, he still has something to do. It's
That's
a little
true.
mini game.
Yeah, and he is having that mini game on up top lane, pushing that out.
All right. Looks like they want to maybe poke the high ground. Not sure how much they want to commit, though.
Maybe some toss-out action. They want to use this ward.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to wait for Skem to deward it, maybe. Nope. Dewarding it with,
Forge Spirits for the win.
Yep.
All right, so back to the... I wouldn't call it a stalemate necessarily,
They
but...
both buy a gem at the exact same time. That's funny. Huh. I think for two different reasons. It's like Spirit feels like they have a lead in the momentum, and Boom is just like avoiding them, so they want to take away all the vision so that they can't keep avoiding them. And for Boom, I suppose it's just like a comeback
Dire's
gem.
bottom tower
Got
is
the
under
old
attack.
juicy shard coming for the Enigma, I believe.
Yeah.
Pull action. Of course, he hasn't used Black Hole since very
No.
early in the game.
No, he has not. I believe since the Vessel pickup, he's not used it.
Okay. And Skem with his army, still keeping the diversity at a nice level. Yatoro's going to show himself in the mid lane.
That's a good ward. I mean, they do have a gem, so Dazzle makes his way over there. They'll see that they're standing on vision, or they were.
Mira looking for an opening. He's going to get the Avatos back onto FBZ. He's already half HP, but pops that BKB. He's just going to get right-clicked down into oblivion. Not even hand of Gabe. It can save you. Dispose back onto Yatoro, but he's just going to get the long-range Sunder. Midnight Pulse to follow as Tim's trying to get to the high ground. You can see Rolling Thunder from Toronto Tokyo going the opposite direction. Toss back again from Mira. Tim's very low on HP, has the Unleash activated, and the rebound. Oh! Okay, that was a little misclick potentially, but won't pay with his life. So in the end, one death.
And the creeps.
Oh, the creeps do die. So death to that poor creep army.
Acorn goes down.
Acorn? Is it an acorn?
That's right.
I think it's a pine
Cone.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
No, it is a pine cone. You're right. As Roche is respawning off of that, so Spirit, because of this,
Radiant's top
they're
tower
in
is
the
under
area.
attack.
and they do want to fight, so there's some good positioning from them. They're happy to be here.
Yeah, but the later this goes, the more we favor Spirit, at least on paper, and the lead is growing ever so slowly in their favor as well. Sunstrike on the rune spot.
In case there's the DD, of course. In front of Rosh, the classic.
Yeah, but Rosh is up, and it's the second one, so that's a free shard for somebody. And the question is, who would it go to? Does Toronto Tokyo have his?
Pretty terrible. He's got his. Yeah, Tiny doesn't want his. Probably Maposhka.
Collapse already has his.
Yeah, get that 2-second hex. I mean, that's an insane shard. That's like half the reason Dazzle is strong right now, I think.
I'd be surprised if Toro takes the Demon Deal, though, as this second rush will be going to them cleanly.
He is taking it. No,
He's
taking it.
It's like, I don't want it. Demon Zeal bad. Demon Zeal, he does take it. Okay. So, I mean, how much of this is for farming, would you say, versus being able to fight in melee form?
Demon Zeal? Oh, yeah. I feel like it's like Alk Shard, where it's not. It's just a little bit more
of the same. Of
the same, yeah. It's just a slight buff. Like, ideally, you'd get it on some other hero, but it does amplify your net worth, obviously, because it's attack speed and move speed. So. The higher net worth you are, and he's absolutely monstrous, the better it is to give the shard away. Like you could argue you just don't want to give it to 5 position because of that, even though it is a very good shard.
Top tower is under attack.
I wonder if there's any regrets on the Enigma shard. Could have had a freebie.
Because he could have had it. Yeah, probably. In Maposhka, it looks like he doesn't want his shard. He's not even buying when he's getting a 4-staff, because the way that he's playing is that he's kind of just a shallow grave bot, and it's the TB Dazzle combo. If he's a shallow grave bot and he just stays there and doesn't walk in and try to hex people,
he's going to get Tornado EMP to try to stop this high ground push, as they've already gotten the tower to half HP. That's without even a meta being popped. And speaking of the devil, literally, the demon, maybe, more accurate.
Yeah, use that Demon Seal, bro. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get that Demon Seal going.
Probably going to forget to click it, because probably never buys it. Right. Tower getting pretty low, but you can tell with that smoke that Boom might want to fight here, as the rest of Team Spirit are playing really far back. And there's a fortification. Tornado. EMP with the 4-staff again, out of range. And now Yataro's meta is getting a little bit low, so Spirit will just back away.
Did force out the fortification, so when meta's up, there will be a little bit more time left on the Aegis. And they can go for another push and just kind of get a stranglehold on the map for the next few minutes.
Butterfly. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a juicy
Taro Butterfly. Okay. If he ends up trying to keep that, but there's the initiation. Tiny's going to be just fine. Taro not really wanting to fight without the meta.
The Demon Seal
expended. That's true. The Demon Seal is something to fear indeed. Focusing on the creeps, along with the Wraith Pack, but a nice Avatos onto 2 with a huge swashbuckle to follow. Yataro trying to finish off this poor Marcy, and they finally do so, but it's the cost of the Enigma. So 1-for-1 in Toronto Tokyo. Oh, the bash from Jackie. A very timely bash. And that is a big fight for Boom.
Collapse bot back. He's smoking there. He's trying to get into this fight.
And we'll see if he can close the gap. Doesn't look like it. And now he's basically out of gold. But he's got that Philly Stone.
Yeah.
No worries for him. Likely back to farming.
Boom pings that he bought back, and that they just need to back out, which is 100% the right move. This gives them a big window into the game. If they can get a pick off on Collapse and take away his black hole, which Boom has been so afraid of, it actually means they can win the fight, and then take a couple of towers, and the game can look totally different.
And with only a minute and a half left with this Aegis, we'll see how much Team Spirit can get out of it. I mean, obviously 30 seconds of that is just waiting for Toronto Tokyo to come back. But yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, Butterfly's pretty close though, so that's actually gonna align potentially, but you're cutting it a bit close on time. That is gonna be quite good with that evasion coming out against the Viper Dawn.
And Boom really wants to invade while Toronto Tokyo's dead.
Yep, but now he's up. And ult being used from Mira. He's actually going to blink before that Spirit Vessel can apply a little bit of damage. Dazzle getting quite low on the backside, though, as Yopaj just drops. So wrong place, wrong time for him as Collapse gets off the Midnight Pulse, not even needing the Black Hole here. And Mira taking out the Creep Army again. So Team Spirit, they lose Dazzle, but they get a very value kill in the Invoker.
Yeah, and they get the gem back to killing the Marcy, kill the whole Chen army. Their bot, they still have Aegis for a little bit.
Yeah, it's not enough for them to really.
Probably not enough to pressure high ground. Although they might try to poke just to make sure that all Boomer are in their base and not venturing out.
Boomer.
That's right. That's good. That's good.
The old Boomer not in his base no more, tell you
That's
what.
right.
All right, Toro. Into the meta form he goes. He wants to commit a little bit as the Aegis now pops. But can just focus on the buildings, knowing that there's no fortification to work with because they used it earlier. That is a dead tier 3. Focusing on the melee racks to start. That is dead easily. The melee racks. Looks like they're going to give it up, obviously, with the Invoker not being up for another 7 seconds. And the initiation kind of fails here, but Jackie's all alone right now. Tries to Dawnbreaker ult to the other side. He's going to be successful. The last right click's not going to be enough from Yatoro, as the tree comes from as well. So kind of a failed initiation overall from Boom, but they get the Enigma. That's the big kill. So that means Team Spirit now have to be on the back foot. Beautiful disposed Toronto Tokyo gets off the BKB. Attempting to TP out again, and he will do so successfully this time. And Mira gets out as well. Yatoro in the tree line. Good to go.
Now that that's done, that was amazing from Yatoro. He pre-Hurricane piked the Marcy, which is what botched the initiation. She jumped in to dispose him and immediately got Hurricane piked out, which made that look really bad for Boom. Sure, Collapse goes down, obviously, but it's for a barracks, and that's his dieback, so he's getting that off cooldown. Like that was just some nice mechanics from Spirit there, and that was like a pretty risky push from them, I would say, because Invoker was respawning.
These are some pathetic creeps he's taking over.
Yeah, what can you do?
Really don't have any beggars can't be choosers, I guess, but you got the Kobold, you got the shitty Centaur. And I mean, the Satyr's okay. I mean, even I'd say the Satyr's bad at this stage of the game.
It's bad. It's bad. 5 health.
There's the tomato. All right, that's something.
Tomato's pretty bad too.
I mean, it's better than all the other.
Death throw. It has death throw.
Yeah, death throw is important. You just got to suicide it. Avalanche toss back. It's actually connecting onto 3 heroes, Toronto Tokyo, with the Rolling Thunder, but they lose the Tiny right off the bat. Wraith Pact is there. Viper Strike onto Toronto Tokyo. I think the disengage is here for the rest of Team Spirit. Although, Boom's still fearing the black hole that we've yet to see in quite a while.
It's like the Earthshaker from earlier, except winning.
He did get it off once.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
true.
counts. The
That's true.
Echo Slam count was at 0. That Arcana is never going to get leveled up if you keep
No, it's not.
in that fashion.
Also on account of the private lobby. That
Right,
also
nobody needed to know that. I feel like that should work.
It should. Pro matches should work. I agree with that. That'd be a fun change. Imagine people farming like Arcana stuff in a pro match. That's the ultimate BM.
I mean, that's a way to sell cosmetics, though, so it's a win-win.
It's true. Yeah. Don't see why not.
All right, you can see the items on. Itaro's items are disgusting right now. He's going for a Satanic, which might just replace his boots, in all honesty. But yeah, he's getting close to that threshold where you can't really do much. I mean, the Ag's being consumed at some point. I think Ags is extremely good on this hero. Obviously not something you want to buy until you have nothing else, but the fear is huge, and it gives you a little extra time on the meta.
Yeah, like a second meta is super nice. I really like that component to it. You just meta for a fight, enemy team runs away, and then you have it up for, you know, the tower push afterwards.
Of course, usually coupled up with like some sort of a blink, but he doesn't really have room for a blink this game. Obviously, have the Enigma and Tiny for that, and obviously the mobility from Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah, he's just got to be a turret. I don't think he needs to be this like blinking, backline jumping assassin guy. He can just run at buildings and they win the game. He just sits there hitting buildings and Collapse sits behind and like doesn't hole and they win. That's
Yeah.
as long as he doesn't press it and miss it, right? You know, they're gonna win the game.
There's an opening for Boom. They've been focusing Collapse quite a bit. Try to take that option out of the table, the black hole that is. Greaves! That's been a hot minute since I've seen that bad boy. Hell yeah. My boy. Love them. Love them Greaves, tell you what.
Regeneration.
What is he purging? The low health aura is always good.
Radiant's
I mean,
top
Greaves
tower
is
under
a
attack.
Malefice can be annoying.
Malefice, Dazzle Q, Terrorblade
Lucky
Q.
shot.
Yeah, shit, I'm gonna purge that Lucky shot.
Toronto Tokyo with the Rolling Thunder. There's a speed boost thanks to the rebound, but the Avatos, oh, actually back into the river. Interesting play. That might just botch this initiation from the side of Team Spirit. I don't think Toronto Tokyo is going to go any further, but he does take out that poor Kobold. He takes that last sip from the golden cup before he disappears into the river forever.
Last thing he tasted was his blood. He choked on it.
That's right. Maybe that's what's in the cup. Oh, he got a replacement. So that's his brother, Kobold number 2. Oh, another Avatos, this time into the correct direction. Scam is dead. 10 Greaves wouldn't save you from that one.
Just drop the gem. I think they probably have another one off cooldown at this point, but still, more than
Dire are scanning.
1,800 gold swing for that.
How much do you want to focus to try to kill these pathetic Greaves? They're going to be replaced anyway.
TV Evolution's not even bothering. Oh, here we go.
Eidolon's one. Okay. Poor Kobold again. Man, this guy can't catch a break.
He had to watch his brother die first and then himself.
Right, I'm pretty sure it's a clone, technically. Oh, is that a basher on Toronto?
Yeah, that was a long range bash.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, Witchbane's a great item for Pango. Oh, okay, never mind. He has Mindbreaker. Yeah, that's all you need. The classic. Although I think in terms of damage, the other one does more. But Mindbreaker with that silence is pretty damn valuable. And into the Roche Pit, Spirit goes. The question is, can Boom try to contest? It's going to go super fast. It's going to get scouted out by the Sunstrike. But you can see that Boom are quite scattered. What's on this Roche? Is this the old... No.
Refresher,
Exactly.
which this is probably the best hero in the game for it.
Immortality.
So,
Enigma?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, if
Enigma
they have to, they
Tide.
could also put it on the TB for the double meta, but obviously Enigma Black Hole is... I mean, if you're going to fear him already, ×2, even better. Tim's.
Okay, well, Toronto, at least he forces them out of bot, out of this split pushing scenario. This is pushing Boom into their base, where it's pretty easy for a TB to siege, so missed the roll, but they can wait for that and then easily push high ground. They can probably even push high ground without it. Still got his BKB.
Yeah.
And in Aegis, actually. So
I just noticed that he's the one that picked up the Aegis.
this is true. Not
Taro
TB.
just has so many items, like, I can't drop any of these, no.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, he's a transformation hero, as we like to point out, so
Yeah.
he's not going to have meta if he respawns. But he is the sieging hero as well, so he feels pretty confident he's not going to die.
Yeah, that is a bit risky, but they do have a lot of initiators in the back. So Yataro takes out the tier 3 in the mid.
Jackie Boys, he's looking for
Yeah,
the long wrap.
Collapse, but they find Jackie Boy, and there's Collapse with his first black hole since minute 6, it feels like. That is a dead Dawnbreaker. Does have buyback, though, but of course we talked about Collapse having the Refresher Shard. So Yatoro is going to take advantage of this for another
Radiant's
Rax.
middle barracks
So that,
has fallen.
wait, did they not get top earlier? I guess not. Wait, did they get bottom?
They got bought.
They got bottom. That's so trying to go for the megas now. Have to be careful though. This buyback is available for Jackie. He's gonna have to use it here pretty soon. There's a fortification. Do they even have time now? Oh, the sheep
that's the
stick.
Hex.
There's the initiation onto Collapse. He needs to stay alive, and he will. But the Starbreaker onto 2. He gets deleted. Does have buyback though. He'll expend it immediately. Toronto, Tokyo. They've already killed 2, but that's the buyback's coming in. This will be a dieback on the Jackie. He's all alone right now, completely surrounded. Double kill for Yatoro. Dieback Jackie. And another Avatos. Man, Mira has been all over the place this game on this tiny. Skem just stuck in the trees. No Kobold to save him this time. And looks like he's going to drop as a result. And there's the last black hole of the game in all likelihood. Collapse, finding everything. A rampage for Yatoro. Double rampage, in fact. Could go for a triple. Let's see how greedy he is. But the GGs come out beforehand. And Team Spirit tie it 1-1. They split it.
Okay, so we're back to the regular formula for today. Lots of 1-1 series, but yeah, Spirit, they played incredibly well. Like, Collapse was so patient, holding his black hole the entire time, and you could tell that Boom was not the type of team that was going to give them a big hole. And you could see that in the last fight where they jump him in the back with the sheep stick and the buyback. Like, you can tell that they had respect for Collapse Enigma, but in the end, they're too far behind. Yatoro was too massive to be dealt